also have a Patreon where I post 3 videos a month for $5 a month, in addition to more content for higher price tiers. So today we're going to be talking about body positivity and tips for achieving body positivity. These are going to be genuine tips that I felt were things that I do and can hold myself accountable for. We're not like writing positive affirmations on our mirror. I know that's not something realistic that I would do. It might be for others, but we're going to think a little bit, hopefully less cliche than that. It's a rainy day. We've been in a drought for quite some time here in Philly, so, we needed this rain, but it's a nice gloomy day to make an ASMR video. So, let's get into it. Alright, my first tip is, if you wouldn't say it to a friend, don't say it to yourself. I always have this thing where when one of my friends says something negative about themselves or their looks or something, I'll be like, hey, that's my friend you're talking about. Because I think it's so easy to just verbalize constantly our insecurities and things we don't like about ourselves, and to a point some of that is rooted in trying to be likable, trying to fit in. For example, Mean Girls, the movie. I'm sure most of you have seen it. This scene when Regina, Katie, and Gretchen and Karen, is that her name? I think it is, are at Regina's house, and they're like, my nail beds suck, I have huge pores, I have big thighs, whatever. And Lindsay Lohan's character, Katie, is sitting there I have really bad breath in the morning. She's just trying to think of something to say to fit in that moment, because she doesn't want to, I guess, look like, she's not a part of the group. And I get that, and it's easy to get caught up in that, and it's fine. Obviously, it's not completely realistic to never empathize with your friend when they're like, oh, I hate this thing, and be like, oh my god, same, I hear you. That's an insecurity of mine as well. But just being more, I think, starting to be more mindful of how often we are critiquing or saying negative things about ourselves, and to a point recognizing too that it becomes exhausting for other people to hear. So and the more you say things out loud, the more you can kind of believe them to be true. So just as a step one, start to think about how often you're critiquing yourself out loud verbally to others, and try to cut back. Okay, that leads us into my second tip, which is learning to accept a compliment. And this is something that I know, I can accept a compliment, but sorry, I just need to adjust my pillow. I know that there's been times when somebody gives me a compliment and we kind of feel awkward by just saying thank you. So we'll be like, oh my god, they'll be like, oh, your hair looks so beautiful today, and it's like, oh no, oh my god, it's so frizzy, or you think it's, oh, I hate it, or whatever, or I just threw it up. And I think that can go, again, the Mean Girls references. It's when Regina compliments Katie and says you're really pretty or something, and she's like, thanks, and Regina's like, so you agree, you think you're really pretty? And it's like, oh, is that what a compliment means, accepting a compliment? So we have to remind ourselves that it's okay to accept a compliment, just this is one way to make your self-confidence and your body image plummet, because you're putting things on that don't flatter your body type. And it's unfortunate because, that's life. Like conventional sizes, we've got small, medium, large, extra large, we've got 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, like, not everybody fits perfectly into every piece of clothing. I've done this so many times where I'll buy a pair of pants or something and button them and they're like just a little tight, and I'm like, oh, I'll lose like 3 pounds and then it'll be like fine. I don't lose 3 pounds. Maybe I fluctuate and I gain 3 pounds. Or if I do lose 3 pounds, I'm not thinking about those pants. So all they're doing is just making me feel uncomfortable and self-conscious and shitty because I've put on a piece of clothing that doesn't fit my body. Once you start wearing clothing that fits your body and getting rid of the things that no longer fit you, you will feel so much better. Your clothes are gonna flatter you more. You're gonna feel more confident. The tighter our stuff is, the more our muffin tops are hanging over when we didn't even have muffin tops in the first place, and whatever. So it's so important to just accept that this item of clothing does not fit and either return it, donate it, move on. And kind of in the same vein as that, getting caught up in the sizes, the numbers, the words, large, extra large, medium. I'm usually a small, but this is a medium. I, again, am guilty of this, where you want to always be that smaller size because, like, psychologically it makes you feel like you're thinner or whatever. But it's just all clothes are made differently. Like, one man's small is another man's large. Like, there's not like a universal sizing chart, right? Like, so store to store, even style of clothing to style of clothing, you might fluctuate between an extra small to an extra large. Like, it could really be that different. So try not to get caught up in the sizing, and if you get something that's your usual size and it doesn't fit you, simply don't allow the thought to that, oh, what the hell, I've gained weight, or why am I getting a size so big? Don't let that thought to take space in your head. Just be like, oh, it doesn't fit, I need a larger size, period. It's hard to, especially now with online shopping, because that's all we do anymore, right? Like, does anyone really like buy the bulk of their clothes in person anymore? I think just online retail is like really the move. There's so much more selection. We can see it on the models, you can pair outfits together on the models and they give you suggestions and things. So, when you're blind ordering these clothes and they're arriving in the mail and then it's like the wrong size, you don't feel like returning it or dealing with it, don't ruin your self-esteem by keeping clothes that are too small in your closet or concerning yourself too much with the label. You know your size, you know your weight, you know what you look like, you have a mirror, you didn't wake up one day and just like grow like the beanstalk, so like I said, I get caught up in that sometimes, but labels of clothing and sizes of clothing literally don't matter. I wear, extra large bikini tops and small bikini bottoms, and I wear a small and Abercrombie bodysuits, but then if I buy a bodysuit from White Fox, I've had to go up to an extra large before because of the way it cuts. It just doesn't matter, and we need to just accept that and wear things that flatter us instead of trying to squeeze ourselves into something just for a nonsense. My camera just died and I just switched cameras. I still have the same lens, but I'm wondering if I look any different now because I switched back to my old camera. We'll see if it overheats. It usually would overheat in 20 minutes. Okay, so I might have cut off, but yeah, we got the sizes, don't eat your clothes, things like that. Okay, next thing, also very important, and this has been said, but we really need to like think about it and break it down a little bit more. We really do need to stop comparing ourselves to other women and their bodies. Again, guilty of this, right? And just in general, we need to stop doing that because we just shouldn't, because not everyone's the same. All bodies are built different. We know that. But what we also need to realize is like there is really only so much like in shape that any one person can get without going to extreme lengths. And what I mean by this is you see these women on Instagram and TikTok and whatever, and their bodies are perfect. Number one, consider their age. Are they 20? Yeah, okay. Number two, consider genetics, okay? There are so many women and health influencers and things that push certain workouts, certain diet plans. You should eat less this, you should eat more of that, you should eat seaweed and this weird vitamin thing, and you should eat cardboard, and then you'll have, because they're using all this scientific jargon that's probably not real, and then that is gonna burn all the fat in your arms, and then it just all goes right to your butt, and then you'll have a bigger butt, and da-da-da-da-da. Again, Mean Girls, Caltine bars. Just burns up all your carbs, just all your carbs. You have to understand that genetics plays a huge role in how we look. Like, you're shaped the way that you're shaped. Like, we're not getting in to your bones with a chainsaw and like chiseling you like a friggin' jack-o'-lantern, right? Or a nice sculpture. Like, your frame is your frame, and sometimes certain people are just genetically perfect, or genetically have a bigger butt. They're more curvy genetically. They have a flatter stomach. They have larger boobs. They have thinner arms. Whatever it is, that you could kill yourself at the gym. You could eat nothing but kale and chicken every single day, and you would never look like that. Or to look like that, you would have to eat only grilled chicken and kale every day, and you'd have to work out 7 days a week, and then you'll look like that. But you will be running on fumes. You will be miserable. I've been there. I know what running on fumes feels like. Exercising when I probably shouldn't have because there wasn't enough energy in my body, nutrition-wise, or, whatever. It's like trying to make a car go with no gas in it. It is literally not worth it. It is when you feel drained of energy and you feel like just weak, and it's just like, and hungry, and just denying yourself of all of the joys that is delicious food, which is a big important part of life, culture, social situations. So it's just not realistic, and like, who cares? Like, do you need to have a six-pack and be miserable? Like, there is a balance, okay? But it's just something that I think some people still can't accept, of just having this unattainable body standard, and it's like, this isn't gonna happen for you. Like, I know what I look like when I'm at my best, and when I mean I'm at my best, I don't mean running on E. I mean working out 3 times a week. For me, that's what's doable. exercise routine and weight for our body types. So, we don't want to be delusionally optimistic, right? Because health is important. But yeah, being completely ripped, like I said, and have that perfect body, it's like you sometimes feel like you are running on fumes, or don't assume that just because you're unhappy now that having a perfect toned body, you're gonna all of a sudden be perfectly happy, right? Like, there's other things in life. There's the people in life. There's your own, like, mental health stuff, and it's not all based around your weight, or, you don't like this weird mole on you, or this cellulite, or whatever. People are real, and, nobody's perfect. Really, nobody is perfect. You don't want to be perfect. Embracing your flaws, like, make your flaws cool. Kim Kardashian made big butts cool. She's made millions of things cool. Trends are being brought back from the 90s of low-waist pants and cargo shorts and denim skirts and things like that. It's all not real. It's all whatever society chooses and we choose to think is cool and cute and whatever. So, let's continue to normalize having a real body as a woman. When you're walking down the street, look at people. Don't just look at people on your phone. Real people that you're, like, just at the grocery store with. They look pretty regular, don't they? Like, you're not out, like, spotting all the beautiful influencers of the world. Like, so just remember to look up and look at, like, the real people surrounding you. Next, also too, I think, again, I feel like I kind of touched on this, but it's important to remember that you as a person, you are not just one element. Like, we are so dynamic as human beings, and sometimes it can be hard for us to see that in ourselves. But the way that you look at yourself is not the way that your boyfriend or your husband or your friends or your mom or your dad or a stranger or a guy at a bar looks at you. They're seeing your personality, your eyes, your mannerisms, your confidence, your humor, your intelligence, your wit, your professionalism. And they're bundling all these things and mixing them in a bowl that is you. And it's just like, when you look at someone, like, think of somebody that you think is really cool and beautiful inside and out. Think of that person. Like, is this person perfect? And you have to know the person. Like, someone. It can't be a celebrity. Somebody that you know personally, that you think is just, like, a really great person that you love to be around, and you just get, like, good energy from them. Are they necessarily the most beautiful person in the world? Or maybe they are, and they are in your eyes because you, like, just love all those other things about them, that whatever they do is cool, and you want to be around it, and you want that energy. So you just have to remember that you are 360. Like, you are only seeing, like, you're looking at your own self with goggles and, like, tunnel vision, but we are 360 dynamic people with emotions and cute laughs and cute mannerisms and cute little freckles on our left hand that, like, only our mom notices and, thinks is adorable, like, whatever, stuff like that. Let's romanticize those little things about ourselves that we romanticize about other people, and, remember that someone thinks that about you. Okay. And then, to completely kind of, like, the opposite of what I just said, but hear me out. exist, or just things that aren't really necessary. Say like an example of like, I don't know, I don't care about this, but I do have large hands. I have long fingers. I have long palms, but like, I'm not bothered by it. But say that I was bothered by it. There's no surgery to like shrink the size of your hand. Like, your hand is gonna be big, right? So I'm saying things like that. Like, so say I didn't like my big hands. I'm shit out of luck. Life's not fair. Life's not perfect. Like, let it go, okay? There's other things to worry about. And everyone doesn't like parts of their body. And it's fine. You know, I hope that, I think my demographic is old enough to where you're not getting called out about these things by our peers because we're adults, you know, but we probably are all traumatized as kids, right? A little bit from kids being honest and making fun. And you have a big nose, you have whatever, and it's like, yeah, that's me. Take it or leave it. Like, I guarantee you, you know, it just doesn't matter. It really doesn't. So, there's always beauty in other parts of us, and we don't have to love every single piece, and we really don't have to love every single piece every single day, right? Some days we're gonna feel really confident and want to take 1,000 selfies and pictures, and then other days we're gonna be like, wow, I feel like I look like a horse's foot today. And like, it is what it is. Try not to take every emotion that you feel and every thought that runs through your mind so seriously, because our brains are often out to play tricks on us, and they love to.